And we're back with yet another, surely going to be amazing video by me, yours truly, Christian Thayer. If you guys have been watching my videos since the start of the pandemic, and you can recall, now granted, this is not what this video is about, but I figured it's just, might as well bring it up. If you guys can just, I'll probably throw up a screenshot of a still of one of the first few videos that I started making. And now I'm going to take that screenshot away, and now we're looking at me now. So why did I do that, right? Why did I show you one of the first few videos and what it looked like versus now? Well, because I wanted to show you that even as a professional videographer, my videos can still improve, much like yours, right? So again, this has nothing to do with what this current video is about, but I just figured I'd let you guys know that you always have to start somewhere. I mean, sure, in theory, those videos were probably good back then. And now, when I say good, I'm talking about like the lighting and the audio and all of that fun stuff. But as time has progressed, we're talking like a year and a half, I'd like to think that I've even gotten better. So if that's what's holding you back from making videos because you think that your first videos are going to suck, well, A, they probably will, but B, give it enough time and they will get better. Okay, that is enough. Now we're going to be talking about what the actual video is going to be about. And for the most part, so like the last social video that I posted on here I was pretty much comparing or going over good and bad ads, more so on Facebook. Not so much ads, more so just like listings and, titles, headlines, the use of emojis, all that fun stuff. And you guys seem to like it. So now we're going to be doing a similar concept, but with things that are real. So like billboards, headshots, print ads, stuff that some of you, most of you, are probably doing or at least have thought about doing. So first up, we have some billboards. I'm going to show you a bunch of them. Some of them are going to be good. Some of them are going to be bad. And I'm going to tell you why. And before we get into this, to let you guys maybe have some reassurance as to what I'm saying, I went to school for advertising, graduated from Michigan State, which has a very good advertising program. So basically, this video is literally what I went to school for. I remember I had a class that had a section or a chapter or whatever you want to call it, literally on billboards. So to say that I know what I'm talking about is an understatement. I literally went to school for this. Okay, first billboard on the screen. Now, in theory, it looks nice. Just says sold, right? It gets the point across. However, here's a good time to tell you about what makes a good and bad billboard. So, for example, let's talk about how much time the average person has when looking at a billboard. It's about 5 seconds, right? If you're tapping 85 miles an hour and you're cruising down 94, you don't have a whole lot of time to just sit up and stare and read. So, for example, 5 seconds, which means the less stuff you have on the billboard, the better. Now, in this case, it's pretty good in terms of how much stuff is on the billboard. However, the problem is her name can barely read it. Sure, it looks cute when you're looking at it on a computer screen, and obviously you can read it. But when you're flying, and you don't have a whole lot of time, I'm not going to try and make out that her name is, I think, Shirley Riddle. Another thing to keep in mind is that I can barely read what company she works for because black and blue are similar tone colors. That kind of fades in. And if you think that I am remembering either of those two phone numbers in 5 seconds, you are very much mistaken. This is not a good billboard. However, it looks professional. But in terms of getting leads, getting people to actually call you off of this billboard, not going to happen. Next up, we actually have a local team. Now, this is not, I wasn't searching them out. I literally just searched real estate billboard, and they were like the second one to pop up. So I threw this one in here. I'm almost positive this looks like a mock-up, meaning this is not like a real photograph. I'm not sure if this billboard was actually in use. Linda Ray, if you're watching, please feel to confirm or deny. But as far as this billboard goes, it's pretty good. Okay. The photo of the team is less important because, we don't really care about what you look like. We care about how we're going to contact you. So up top, they have the Linda Ray team in bold. And then underneath, they have top local experts. So right off the bat, you see you see the name, you now know that they're top local experts, and then they have their phone number, which again we just talked about, but that is okay. But more importantly, they have their website. So if you are thinking about being in the Billboard game, if you are in the Billboard game, the most important piece of information that you can have on there is your name or your team name, whatever you are, and then 2 is your website. Nobody is going to attempt to remember a 10-digit sequence of numbers and then going to call you. What they're going to do, if there's a passenger in the car or whomever, they're just going to Google your name. So might as well just give them the direct link, which is your website, which Linda Ray did at the bottom. However, I would have switched the 2 there. Also, another thing to note, you probably don't need to throw www before a website. We are in 2021. Feel free to drop that. I think people are going to understand that if there's a .com at the end of that, they can search that online. Plus, that way it will give you more space to make it bigger and easier to read. Next up. Now, as I threw this one in here, I was having a hard time figuring out if this was a good or bad one. And honestly, it's like middle. I would give it like a C+. For 1, it's funny. 2, it's timely. 3, he's not making either side of the aisle mad because he threw up both candidates. So he's smart. Whether or not people were actually moving to Canada or not is besides the point. But he still said, obviously, we can sell your house. And then the 2 pieces of information on there in order to get in contact with him were his website as well as his phone number. So again, this is very much a timely billboard. Probably wasn't up for super long, but it worked. Probably got a lot of attention. Probably got a lot of people talking about it. Next up, we have these guys who are trying way too hard. Now, basically, the next 2 that I'm about to show you, the next 2 billboards, are the culmination of what not to do, of what I've already talked about. In terms of, you have 5 seconds, and you need to give them literally 2 pieces of information. Your name, hopefully the fact that, they're going to understand you're a real estate agent if your logo's in there somewhere, and then your website. These guys do so the 2 important things that you need to try and find on this billboard are the name, which is Jim Chevalian, which is up top, but there's so much going on, it's going to take a long time to find that. And then how to get in contact with them. Well, it's their phone number. You're driving, you got 5 seconds. You think you're going to remember that? No. Sure, the concept, yeah, that's great. License to sell, that's amazing. It definitely has been done before, but they leaned into it, much like they're leaning into each other. The odds of somebody calling you off this billboard are extremely low. Next and last one, again, Martha, I'm sure you're great, probably a great realtor, but this isn't it. This isn't it. It's not it. It's not it. There's so much going on here. What am I supposed to do? Where do I look? Next up is this one. And basically, the whole point about this one is that if your name, if you can lean into something that is revolving around your name, much like Dorita Mayu did here, it feels like you should probably do that. Really hope Doritos reached out to her, gave her a deal. Okay, next up, we have headshots. Now, if you have listened to any one of my videos, if you have seen me teach pathways, if you have seen me talk at the convention, you've probably heard me rant about headshots. And now I finally get to show you what I mean. So starting off with number 1, we have this person here who is just floating over the ocean. These are the next, I think I have 4 real headshots of realtors. I don't know about you, but I don't want to work with this person. Can't really give you a reason, but I don't want to. Next up, we have the power team, Ken and Chuck. Honestly, I can't even tell if this is a joke or not. This one, same thing. Can't tell if this is a joke or not, but this is her actual headshot that she hands out to people. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not dogging the whole thing of being a puppeteer or whatever that thing's called. But if you're trying to be a professional and you want to help people, I don't know, maybe like buy or sell $500,000 of real estate, like a transaction, like the most expensive transaction they're ever going to do in their life. I don't know, maybe take it seriously, much like your headshot. Anyways, next up, this person who looks like they just figured out how to use 1993 Microsoft Paint. With all that being said, get your headshots done. I'm not saying go to a studio and pay $100 for a headshot. I'm just saying have somebody who's competent enough with even a smartphone nowadays to take a photo of you in pretty good lighting against a blank wall. That's all I'm asking. In moderately nice clothing. That's all I'm saying. I'm just trying to help you out, okay? Next up, we have some print ads. I only have two just because, the video is already getting long. We have a good one and we have a bad one. So up first, we have the good one. Hopefully you can already tell. Katie knows real estate. This is great. Now, obviously, the photo was probably pre-planned for this specific occasion, but this is also not a hard photo to plan. And because this is a print piece, you can obviously include all of the stuff that I told you not to include on the billboard. Because if you're flipping through that magazine at that dentist office at 8:45 in the morning, this is a very nice ad to come across, and so nice that you might actually stop and rate it. You can see that not only does she have her name, she's a realtor, her phone number, all the places to contact her, as well as all of her socials. Don't put that on a billboard. Put that in a print piece. And the last piece I'm going to show you is what not to do in a print piece, okay? Unfortunately, if you open up any sort of print piece and you see a realtor ad, most of the time, this is probably what you're getting. I'm sure Heather is a great person who's a very good realtor, but this is not it. And unfortunately, this is what the real estate ad is. So here's why you need to prioritize making good public-facing ads. Because if everything looks like this, but you're making an ad that even looks half of like the other one, but Katie, you're going to stand out. Because here's the thing. This, it's not that it doesn't give off the impression that she doesn't know what she's doing, but the Katie ad gives off the impression that she knows what she's doing. Very different first impressions. You want to have a first impression like Katie. So now we get to the point of the video where you're sitting there complaining about how you don't know how to design. You're not a good designer. Nobody in your office is a good designer. You just don't know how to do this. So if you do want to, maybe give your best attempt at it, I would recommend going onto Canva and utilizing all of their templates. Now, you can literally just drag and drop into Canva, or if you're feeling brave, if you're feeling adventurous, you can attempt to make your own. I'm going to suggest to sticking with the template. And last but not least, hire a designer. Now you're probably saying, Christian, I don't want to spend any money. Well, guess what? The thing that you're paying this designer to do is essentially going to be making you money. You know the phrase, you can't make money without spending money. That is 100% true in this instant. Because if you try to make an ad yourself and it ends up looking like Heather's, when in all reality you could pay somebody a few bucks and have it turn out looking like Katie's, feels like that was worth it. Okay, I've been talking for way too long. Thank you guys for watching it to the end, and I will see you guys next video.